Yeah.
Now, speaking of playing a few nights in a row, Chicago's coming up in October.
Yeah.
How many ticket requests have you had? Because you're right in, right close by.
I say thank God it's in Chicago, because if it was in Milwaukee, there'd be hundreds,
Mm-hmm.
But so a lot of people aren't even. It's not on their radar right
Yeah.
now. So, but we've gotten requests, but we have a situation now where there is no complimentary tickets, and so you have to buy them.
Oh, okay.
So if I have a guest, I buy that ticket.
That's the same. It's
the
so
same with
funny
us.
with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same sort of deal.
Yeah.
Thanks to the good folks at Enron and WorldCom and Tyco.
Yeah.
The old Sarbanes-Oxley thing. I mean, there's no tickets floating around anywhere. You got to pay
That's
for
right.
everything. Everything has to be notated.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's just the way it goes.
I know Mike Rutherford had 250 guests in London, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he played for free,
Oh
basically.
my God.
Holy
Yeah.
mackerel.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys, Tony Banks as well, Phil Collins, because this was England, this is their home turf,
Mhm.
and thank God I don't have that situation.
Didn't you guys do a show in Europe that was actually like? Did they take it via satellite and throw it around
Yes.
to other European
That was
countries?
Germany, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in Dusseldorf, Germany. It was our second show. Both nights were 50,000 a night. It was a stadium with a roof, so it was an enclosed. And we did this show that was thrown out, fed satellite feed to cinemas, theaters in Spain, England, and Sweden.
That would be really fun. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be fun to go to like a big HD theater and sit with
Yeah.
your...
It was 5.1 surround sound done in HD, and we had our engineer who mixes the Genesis CDs was actually sitting there mixing as we're playing. It's live mixing, but he did a great job, because I have a DVD of that performance, and he did a great job.
So
it sounded like a record.
Are you going to get a chance to come back home at all during the North American thing? I mean, I'm assuming Chicago, you're going to be
Right.
close. But
I'll be close, but I won't probably come home.
Okay.
And also the day after we have to fly to I think it's Denver.
Okay.
But I'll stay down in Chicago. I mean, it's actually easier to kind of stay on the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to take yourself out of the road for a couple days.
We were talking about it, and I mean, this is no offense to State Fair, but we were kind of laughing about the idea that you were playing, in front of 75,000 people, and then you were, in these exotic locations around the world. Then you were going to come back and play State Fair. It's kind of, I mean, just in that case, that's kind of weird. I can imagine the whole personal aspect is kind of strange too.
Yeah, I think it's just because I'm used to it, and really, I have a lot of fun doing that too. I really do. I mean, we're going to play Pierre Marquette, that River Rhythms.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to play that next Wednesday, and that's probably going to be a couple thousand people out there, and that feels great. I mean, it's actually more intimate.
Do you think that there's any chance whatsoever that now that the band is back together, enjoying themselves, chemistry is there, that they would actually write some new music and put some new stuff down?
I think there's a chance. I mean, I'm not saying that because I know that.
Right.
I really think there's a chance, because it is true. It feels like a family reunion, and and everybody's having a good time. They really are, and I think it's because everybody's knows where they're at now in life. And I think that, like I was saying before, our kids are all grown up and they're all doing great, and you see them hanging out. And so I think that, the fact that Phil Collins has his career, Mike has had his career, but now everybody's like real happy where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're playing music that we played 15, 25, 30 years ago. But I think that everybody's satisfied. And it's really fun to play these old songs again. And the fact that you look out there and the audiences, some of the audiences in their 20s as well, which is amazing to me, because I think they grew up with it, or they're looking at it as like a retro group. It really is.
You know what though? My daughter's a huge Genesis fan.
Mm-hmm.
She's 18, and I mean, she's been buying the CDs since she was probably 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
So I think it is a product partly of this is what they grew up listening to, because I've got it, but also that they're just not attracted to anything that's happening now with bands that are in their 20s. It's just kind of,
Yeah, I think it's the stability of it. I mean, it's consistent. And I mean, a lot of the groups that are out now, you hear them for a little while and they're gone. I mean, at least this is something that's been around. Sort of like the Rolling Stones have been around all this time. You get young people liking the Rolling Stones.
Sure.
Which in one way might not make that much sense, but it does, because they're playing some good stuff.
No doubt.
And they're good performers. And in this case, I think Genesis honestly sounds better now today than we did before. And I don't know why. But we do.
Because I think, and you just said it, because I think you're all comfortable in your stage of life. You're not out there to try and prove anything. You've already done it. Here it is, and we're just comfortable.
Yeah, and no one has any drug problems. It's nothing
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
no agendas or
No.
anything. Yeah, everybody's just enjoying themselves and having a
And
good time.
and the reaction of the audience has really gotten us. We thought, wow, it's better than we expected.
Mhm.
And some are as old as us, and some are in their 20s, and they're all just having a great time. So we have a great time, and so that's why they're even talking about doing some more. And I don't know when that will be, but your question being whether they might write some, I think they'll probably go in the studio and see what happens.
Mhm.
But I don't know that as a fact. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that.
that's exciting though, and
Yeah.
especially it's exciting. Like today's a really big day for music when you think about it, because you've got today is the day of 30 years ago Elvis died.
Yeah.
Elvis meant a lot to the music world. But the Eagles have a brand new thing coming out today too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got
I
a brand new
love that.
single, and the new record is out October, I think.
Yeah.
But their first single drops today. So, yeah.
I mean, I think it makes sense. For any of these bands that are still around and healthy guys, and
Mhm.
do it again. I mean, why not? I
Right.
mean, Paul McCartney, same thing. I mean, he's older than we are, and he's doing great.
Sure is.
Imagine. Can you imagine if the Beatles were all still alive?
I know.
I mean, can you imagine that kind of a tour?
Mhm.
That'd be frightening.
I wish they were, and I wish Hendrix was alive, and I would love to see what he'd be doing now.
Wow.
I was a big fan of his.
That's scary to think what he might be doing.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because you have this certain image of him, and you don't know. He may be the Randy Jackson of the world. He might have been sitting up there, instead of Randy Jackson. All right, if people want to buy your CDs, go to your website,
Yeah.
darylstuermer.com.
And you'll have them for sale, I would think.
At
River Rhythms.
thank you.
Yeah.
And
Marquette Park.
and believe it or not, they're also being sold at the Genesis shows as part of merchandise.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, which is really fantastic.
That's really
We did
nice.
pretty well in Europe. So.
That's great.
But those are stadiums.
It is such a pleasure to have you in here all the time. Say hi
Thank
to the
you.
family. Thank you for taking the time to come in here and share your
Oh.
stories with us. It's always
Tell
really
your daughter
interesting.
congratulations.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Yes.
Very exciting
Yes,
news.
okay, you approve of the guy.
I love him.
He's a good guy?
He's a great guy.
Okay, that's the most important thing.
It's one of those guys where you go, I'm crossing my fingers. I hope he's the one.
Yeah, I hope he is the one. Yeah,
Oh, that's
'cause-
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, see, my mother was not at all happy with my choice. They had 3 strikes against him, but now he's okay. He's stuck it out.
Yeah.
You know what
She
I mean?
wishes it was Dave.
No, trust me. No, Lou's worn your mom down to the point where now
just
it's
like,
okay. It's
yeah.
okay now. Yeah.
Oh, let him in.
All right, Daryl, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Daryl.
Oh, you're welcome.
Daryl Stuermer from Genesis, and of course, great solo stuff. Go to his website. Go see him at Marquette Park next week. And it's 8:51 right now, the David Carole Morning KLH. We have a lot of giveaways in the 9 o'clock hour. Also, we have Mike Evans on the road coming up. And the Screen Queen, she reviewed Rush Hour 3 for us, and we're going to hear that too. Right now, Workforce Traffic, brought to you by Flanders Home Entertainment, the experts in home theater, TV, and stereo systems. Brandon, what's going on?